do a.
Oh, I thought we were going to wave.
Well,
we are. Hold
you
on.
can do a wave.
Do you have your phone on you?
I'm recording. I missed it.
And get a picture of yourself and your pregnant lady there. You count for two. Okay. All right. So are we? We're now on time. Tell me when.
Well,
Go.
You're the timekeeper.
I
This
know
is also
that.
keeping
Go,
time.
stop there. Go, honey.
Hello, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Shelley Castellino, and I'd like to talk to you about marathons. They've been in the news so much recently because of the Boston Marathon on April 15th. During that explosion, there was a gentleman running up to the finish line. He was in an orange shirt. Did any of you see him? Orange shirt, and he fell over. He fell over from the blast of the race. He was so determined. His head was down. He was pushing forward. He was so determined. He was only 15 feet from the finish line when the blast occurred. He was knocked down. And he went into a dead bug position. Dead bug position is this. If this is my thumb is the head, and these are the limbs. He rolls over onto his back so that his limbs can be free, and then you can roll over and get up easily and walk away. That's what we learned in ski patrol. In any case, he's in a dead bug position, but then all the smoke from the bombs covers him, and you never see anything more. But I don't want to talk about the bombing. I want to talk more about the marathon itself. The marathon is so incredible because it pulls from you so much. It takes so much strength, but it gives you back so much. It gives you back such a feeling of perseverance and accomplishment. I've completed 3 of them, and it was just an absolutely life-changing event. So I kind of feel a little bit of camaraderie with some of these people. So I want to tell you a little bit about the history. First about the ancient marathon, and then on to more of the modern day things. The marathon began about 2,500 years ago in Marathon, Greece. At that time, the Athenians were being attacked by the Persian army. Vast Persian army outnumbered them. So they sent Theodipide to Sparta and requested Sparta assist them. Remember, Sparta is the warrior culture, and Greece, or in Athens, it's all about culture. Well, he comes back and he has no reinforcements. Sparta is having a big festival, and they refuse any assistance. So they have to fight the battle on their own. Fortunately, they win. But Athens wasn't aware of the victory. They had to send Theodipide back to Athens to let them know. Athens was going to destroy itself rather than fall to the Persians because they were extremely terroristic. In any case, Theodipide had been injured during the battle. He arrives in Athens. He yells, "Nike!" and then he dies. He's been injured, and the run killed him. Then we fast forward. We take an intermission of almost 2,000 years, and we fast forward to the current Olympics, or the modern day Olympics, that have been revived because of the archaeological digs last century, 2 centuries ago actually, in Athens. And they find all these things, telling them about the Olympics. So they've got 9 countries together, and they've created a new Olympics. It's going to be at Athens, and on the final day, the Greeks have not won a single medal. But they've got the crescendo event left. It's the marathon. They've all arrived in Marathon. They're going to run the traditional route to Athens. It's about 24 miles. They arrive there, and 25 people set off. When they conclude, only 9 people cross the finish line. 8 of those 9 people are Greek. The winner is a postal worker from Greece. So it's a hard race, and the Americans really are taken by this. They are so thrilled with the idea of a messenger race, because it was a messenger that started the marathon, and then here in the Greek Olympics, it's yet another messenger, a postal carrier, that wins the marathon. We've got Patriots Day coming up in Boston in a couple of months, or they did back then. And the Boston Athletic Club, who puts on the Boston Marathon, decided to use the marathon to commemorate the Patriots Day, and they created the Boston Marathon. it wasn't until 15 years, or until 1924 that the race actually became 26.2 miles. Originally, when the marathon started in modern day, it ran between 24 and 22 miles. So the reason why it became 26.2 miles was because of the 1908 Olympics in London. They were supposed to have the crowd, or the finish line was supposed to be at the tunnel end, the terminus of the into the stadium. However, the Queen was sitting on the far side of the stadium, so the Olympic officials thought it would be a much better ordeal, or a much better finish, if they finished in front of the Queen. So they added on 0.2 miles to get over to the Queen. Now, it took 15 more years before that was finally codified and made a permanent thing. But at this time, it's now 26.2 miles. That's 26.2 miles of absolute sheer will and determination. During the London Olympics, when they changed the course, the lead runner comes out into the stadium, and he turns the wrong direction because he's so stupefied. He's just running on empty. He's stupefied, and he realizes his mistake, and in despair he collapses. So the Olympic officials actually helped him up and got across the finish line. So he becomes quite a hero. Well, remember we talked about the heroes that we talked about Philippide, we talked about the postal worker crossing. We've also talked about this poor runner that's gotten discombobulated. Well, we actually have a fourth one, and that's our orange-shirted runner. The CNN has talked about, since the 18th, they've talked about the runner having been a 78-year-old Bill Ifrig. Bill Ifrig fell over, knocked over by the blast, but he was in the dead bug position. A volunteer came over, righted him, and he walked the last 15 miles assisted by the volunteer. He finished that marathon. Thus, the man persevered. He gave it his all. That's my talk. It's about perseverance, and God bless those that can persevere. Thank you so much for listening.